Well, the death of the Queen at the age of 96 has marked an end to her long reign and ignited an outpouring of grief in the UK and around the world. Thousands of Britons are ignoring the wet weather to gather outside Buckingham Palace. Many are crying and singing as they leave flowers in honour of the Queen. Her Majesty died peacefully at her Balmoral estate in Scotland, surrounded by her family.
As the rain fell like mist, they came to pay their respects. But adjusting to the Queen's death after 7 decades on the throne will not be easy.
It's just heartbreaking, really, isn't it?
I feel like it's the end of an era. She was our one kind of staple in the country.
Has it sunk in?
No, I don't think so, no.
It is all the harder to absorb when you consider that only a few days ago Her Majesty was performing her royal duties. Her infectious smile present, as it had always been, during her long life of service. And within hours of the announcement, no one wanted to hear. Flowers were laid as people gravitated towards her main residence to be part of history.
Despite the weather and the late hour, it is the middle of the night. People are still arriving here at Buckingham Palace. And it's difficult to describe the atmosphere. There is a sense of shock and sadness, disbelief too, at the death of a revered monarch, the only one most people alive today can remember. But within these crowds, there is also something else, and that is a desire to celebrate a queen who's been a stabilising force for many decades.
For many, the Queen's extraordinary longevity had made her such a permanent feature in so many lives. She was an anchor through uncertain times as Britain transitioned through the modern age after the Second World War. But now, across the nations, uncertainty as new constitutional questions will be asked.
She was an influence for good in our country, and now she's gone, I wonder where we'll go.
It doesn't really feel real yet.
The lady was a very great woman and held the country together.
But in the midst of all this, there is a family dealing with tremendous loss. Prince Charles, who's now king, was the first to arrive by her side. Prince William soon followed, driving his uncles. They looked tired and worried. A few hours later, and the worst fears were confirmed. The Queen was dead.
The death of Her Majesty the Queen is a huge shock to the nation and to the world. Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built.
For the coming days, flags will remain lowered as a carefully choreographed transition of power begins, the new king making his way back to London this morning. And what all this will eventually mean for the monarchy and the country is very much unknown. But for now, there is still a rawness at the loss of such an enduring figure.